Kia ora, and the headlines. It's hoped a new Christchurch government unit will mean better efficiency in getting the CBD back up and running. Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee introduced the Christchurch Central Development Unit this morning.
What Sarah has is the capacity to engage further resource and focus totally on the CBD so that we can get a much faster commitment to rebuild in there.
The staff consultation period is over. Now it's decision time at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. MFAT managers are considering changes to the original restructuring proposals, which included over 300 job losses and significant cuts in allowances for overseas staff. The Prime Minister has wound up his state visit to Indonesia with a call for the country's leaders to take action against any human rights abuses in that country.
The Vice President made the point to us that he welcomes the work that New Zealand's doing in helping development. We've had community policing, we're doing a number of other things.
There have been developments in two big job disputes today. The Employment Relations Authority has accepted a joint application to facilitate the ongoing negotiations between Ports of Auckland and unionised wharfies. But it's not good news for locked-out AFCO workers. Tallies has cancelled this week's mediation with the Meat Workers Union, who filed for government-assisted facilitation bargaining. A group of Greenpeace activists have been remanded on bail over their New Plymouth anti-oil exploration protest in February. The 8 activists, including actor Lucy Lawless, are charged with burglary and unlawfully boarding a ship. They say they have no regrets.
I think we're all really proud to be part of it. It wasn't always easy, but it was always good and it always felt right. And we'll just see how it pans out in the courts.
There's a move for agencies to work together against human trafficking, particularly in New Zealand and the Pacific Islands. Alan Bell of ECPAT Child Alert told New Zealand's Rhema that the New Zealand Network Against People Trafficking is vital to prevent the problem from taking root here.
In New Zealand, we've been protected, I think, because of our geographic isolation. We've got fairly tight border controls. But this is not a time, for complacency. We need to be vigilant and to prevent it.
To international news, the ceasefire in Syria is teetering as government forces widen their attacks on opposition strongholds. Human rights groups and activists say there's been continued shelling in the central Homs region and in the northwestern Idlib province. The UN-brokered ceasefire is just 5 days old. To Israel, officials say the EU-led negotiations over Iran's nuclear program are giving Tehran more time to develop nuclear weapons. The UN and European Union have settled on another round of negotiations with Iran next month in Baghdad, and Israel is not happy about it.
Well, my initial impression is that Iran has been given a freebie. It's got 5 weeks to continue enrichment without any limitation, any inhibition.
And finally, it's 100 days until the London Olympics opens, and Aucklander Sam Arby's Stand Tall has been voted the official song of the New Zealand team.
You make us so proud.
Around 200 athletes will represent New Zealand, with 60 having qualified so far. Well, those are the headlines from the RBG newsroom. Ka kite anō.